Good morning, it's Marty the JavaScript party, and I have two halves of a nut for Rhett. Here's the first one, girl. She can't figure out where to grab it. There you go. And I'll give her the next one in a second. I'm trying to wait for my application to build. I don't even know if it matters. Um, so I think what happened, okay, let's go to ChatGPT. And yesterday we sort of started digging into trying to make our make the uh, string interface, um, make the typing a little bit strong typing a little bit more mm, structured slash constraining, I guess would be a good like sort of, and then like informative. I guess with these structures, you sort of get three things out of it. One, you get like a a one you kind of it kind of like guides future developers into certain uh, patterns. I guess that would be the one thing. So that's sort of the constraining side. The structure side is kind of like it makes it to where it's not comfortable to just sort of just write code wherever, you know. It gives you places, and it also gives you places to kind of start, like when you want to build something or fix a bug, to sort of wrap your mind around where that bug likely is, or all that, which is that definitely kind of a new thing for me. I've always been like right click, you know, like I've always been more of a detective investigator type of person. And then third, it looks like we are up and running. Um, it So it's constraining. It adds structure. Oh, and then like I guess like I remember when I've had a lot of jobs. I've had probably 20 plus programming jobs in my career, and and in Angular, every time I've ever had one, I've always just gone straight to the modules and looked at the modules to sort of get a kind of an idea of the overall like idea, how the feel of the application. And I guess that's what TypeScript offers, because you know honestly, modules were a great idea. Like it's really like hard to argue against the concept of modules, but boy did they make things difficult. So I could see why they left. It's one of those things where it's just like it's a great idea. Like I remember when I was a kid, everybody used to always lose their car in a parking lot. Like they would just be, and then you couldn't find it. And I remember when phones first started coming out and kind of being intelligent, thinking, oh, the number one application on a phone is going to be to find your car. And now no one does it, right? Like it was like, and people built apps to find your car because it was so obvious that we needed that. But then we just don't need it in real life, so that's weird. Let me give Rhett her other half. There you go, girl. Oh, so she's not as hungry for a app. I mean, a app, a nut. So, anyways, I'm trying to sort of come up with a way to sort of like if we look at my other. So we have a publish inside of three, and then we also have a publish inside of. So weird. What? Oh, man, that is just the most confusing thing. See, I'm inside of three right here, right? So I'm thinking inside of my services, I this is all there is. But then you scroll up and there it is. Um, but so inside of this service, I have this object, which is a calculate aspect ratio dictionary, which is just a simple dictionary, which basically is like that. But I kind of want one that's a little bit more. And then this, oh, is it my dictionaries? Um, I want one that's a little bit more generic because um, I think it would be nice to be able to look in here and see that, excuse me, that what we have is actually, I like, I don't know. I don't know. Right now, like See, right now it's pretty simple because all of our dictionaries is one. We only have one, and then we're about to have two, and every one of them is an ID and a number. But at some point, we'll have an ID in a string. Some point, we'll have an ID in some kind of object, and an ID in another kind of object, and all that. And so this won't be as obvious in the future. So I think. I'm not sure, but I think. So I went to ChatGPT and I sort of ran into this record thing, which I've run into before, but I never really could quite wrap my mind around what it is. But type alias of the record key that works well for this. It's a built-in type called record key value. See, that's exactly what we want. So a record, it's kind of weird. It would have been nice if they'd have called it dictionary key value. Because I think a record is a little bit too, is not, a record doesn't necessarily have a key and a value, right? So I don't know, at least my understanding what a record is. But anyway, so what I want to do is I want to create, and I guess it's a type called number dictionary. Like this, something along the lines of this. But this thing, I don't want it to be like, so this means that it's a, I don't think that we want to go this abstract, like, but I think it would be good to like sort of do a cross between this one and this. Numdict. See, it's weird. Because why would this be called numdict? This, it seems like that should be stringed. Let me ask ChatGPT. Maybe I'm missing something. Shouldn't this be string? In JavaScript, object keys always are strings or symbols under the hood, even if you write. See, I don't want the ID to. I want the ID to always be a number. So I want the ID, the key part, always be a number. Then you're right to go with your first approach. But I want the name of the type. I want the name of the type to indicate what kind of value will be in the type. Yeah, see, I like this. This is exactly what I want. Hold strings, hold booleans. Now, I'm having a hard time right now because I don't really like to code ahead of time for things like this, but I think I'm going to add the string one now. So I'm kind of doing, I'm not going to do the Boolean one because I think the only reason I'm doing the string one now is so when I come back in the future, I, so in the future, when I go to add other things like Boolean, I'll have, oh, maybe I guess it makes sense to just put all three. Maybe I'll never know. Maybe I'll never care. So let me copy that. And I guess I'm going to call these base oh, normally I like to do these through the package, but I think I'm just going to do it manually. Um, base sticks. And then these, I guess, and I guess this is where roll-ups become pretty cool, because I guess if I don't include base sticks inside of the roll-up, then it won't really be as easily exposed, because I don't really want to use the base ones in the actual code. I just want to use them in here, so that, because I think that this is less mental overhead to try to sort of than this. Like, so when I come in here and if I see that everyone has this, I think it's just easier to sort of say, oh, okay, that's a number dictionary. This is a string dictionary. This is a Boolean dictionary. So Control V. So these are my base. And so in the future, I guess I'll put a little. So this is not something I typically do. This is unusual for me, because normally I still have 23 minutes, right? No, I still have 13 minutes. It's 8:42. Because normally for me, what happens is I like to kind of figure things out as the time comes, because I feel like I guess that's sort of a level of confidence that you eventually grow into, is like, I believe in myself that I'll be able to do it in the future, exactly. But I don't know if I believe in myself that I'll be able to remember what my intentions were. Future. I'll put we, assuming that someday other developers will jump in on this. Now, I've had 2 times that developers have asked to sort of participate in this project now. I suspect, and I definitely, truly, genuinely appreciate that. I mean, that I don't know if there's a better compliment that you can get as a developer than other developers say, hey, I would like to participate in this. But I would imagine for every 10 developers that says, hey, I'd like to participate in this, there's only one that kind of like is in a situation to be able to help. Whether, there's probably like a million reasons why you wouldn't be able to help, and like personal life and all kinds of stuff. And then I would say for every 10 developers that can actually help you, probably 9 of them have sort of their own agenda, like they want to build something for themselves and all that. And so if they have their own agenda and that's it, like they're like, oh, I want to build a thing that does XYZ, and this is a good foundation to get started in, then it probably makes sense for them to help out a little bit in the beginning, and then sort of create a whole new repo at GitHub and start working on their own thing, from with my code as a base. But some people may say, hey, I just want to learn, and so I just want to go along for the ride, and whatever we do, and that's fine. And that's cool too, because I have my own agenda of what I want to do, so I don't really want somebody else to sort of hijack my agenda. So that's what I've been thinking about. So probably 9 out of 10 would end up just kind of creating their own repo and cloning it at GitHub and doing their own thing, taking it into the direction they want, which I love that idea. And then I also love the idea that someone would say, okay, can you give me a simple task? Okay, can you give me a task that's a little harder? Okay, can you give me, I love that idea too. Both ideas are good. We can create object specific dictionaries, i.e. camera. Right? Like we could have something like that. Guess I should do this. ID : number : camera. And so it's probably like ST camera, or it could be 3 camera or whatever. But for now, I think that's a good enough sort of indication so that future me can understand what we were trying to do. Um, so now I think what we can do is we can just say, I'm actually very curious. I would love to dig into um, why does this become, what's the difference between a type and an interface? TypeScript, a type and an interface are often interchangeable, but there's some, both can be described, can describe objects. The difference is extending and merging. Interfaces can be extended in multiple times and will merge automatically if you declare them again. Oh, wow. Okay, so this is sort of a concept that I just don't even like. Like my brain just goes, yeah, ignore that. Like I'm not ready for this sort of personal growth. I don't know what that's all about. But extend multiple times, it won't merge automatically if you declare that again. I don't think I want that. But type won't. Huh. Oh. So you can only do that with type. Okay, so I think I would rather, I don't know. That is interesting. So I said, I'm not ready for it. And then I dug right in and loved it. Okay. So let's just try this. Well, okay. So can this, where are we at? Can this be an interface instead of a type? Oh, so I would have to say extends. Number dict. So I could say like this. I think. I think that's what it's telling me. Oh wait, which is better? Domain, since you said you want to name the type to indicate whether the value is. Oh, I'll say it looks like you can extend like multiples. All right, so let's try this. It's kind of weird how life is because like at work I'm definitely getting a lot more um, into this sort of thing, into like instead of functional development, more into object development. I don't know exactly if that's a good thing or not. We'll see. I think it's a good thing. So it doesn't seem like it's going to want do. Okay, so I think I want to like sort of import it or something. I can't remember. But it's not like it doesn't seem to recognize that numdict is from here. What if I were to put this in there? This will be the first thing to check. It's kind of weird that the other one says exports and this says export. No, okay. Oh, okay, so the semicolon is what's the problem. No? Oh, I needed to put the brackets around it, the curly brackets. Okay. So now maybe I can use the tool to import it. Okay, how do you... So in some of my services, I definitely use calculated aspect ratio. So let's go find where I use it. See, this is where my sort of experience with lots of... So we kind of do it like this. I don't know how important what I'm doing right now is. It's definitely very important for my personal learning. I don't know if it's going to end up being useful as for this project or not. Maybe I'll be like, oh, I really like how I did that. Or maybe I'll be like, yeah, it's not so great. I think we want to, and then dot. Okay, let me go back to this view. Basically, it's in the same folder. So maybe I just type in base. Okay, so it's happy with this, but it does. I am not getting the right directory there. So it's a zone dot and then dot dash dictionaries dash. See, it's like cannot find module dictionaries. Maybe base sticks is supposed to be. Okay, so I numbed interface defined in another file. In the same directory. That I can't figure out how to import it. Yes. Numbed it from one dot. Base sticks. Did I not name it with a TS? Is that? Maybe that's the problem. See, this is the downside to just doing it yourself. Yeah, I didn't name it. Rename. .ts. Now does this make a little bit more sense? Oh, everybody's happy now. Lord, yeah, I definitely, I woke up not feeling like the smartest I've ever felt. And that is definitely, I think, was a pretty good indicator that I'm not running at 100%, which is kind of unfortunate because I have probably one of the most challenging days that I've had mentally ahead of me at work today that I've had like in decades. So it should be. So yeah, unfortunately, I'm kind of going to be fighting this battle today with one arm tied behind my back, but we made it. So we basically now we have a base dictionary that says this is a numbed dict. I wonder if it should be dictionary. I think it should be dictionary. I think that. Let's just paste that all the way down over and over again. This is our string dictionary and our Boolean dictionary. And I feel like that's pretty good. It's just run through things, just make sure everything works. I really need to go. Got work in 4 minutes. All right. So we haven't lost any ground. So we were at the just the absolute. I think this is as low as you can get in the sort of hierarchy of work. So we were at the very base, defining just like the guts, just the basic foundation of how we're going to refer to things. So now, and then up here, we actually say, hey, this is a number dictionary. I think it's very easy. I like how it's just one line, or we could do it 2 lines if we want, but I think one line works great. Um, and I think it's very clear what this is. It's a number dictionary. I think that's going to actually, like, if we end up with hundreds of these in here or some kind of thing like that, I think it's going to be a lot easier to, I think it's going to be a lot easier to sort of make sense of these things um, this way. Um, anyways, but I suspect when I get to like 5 or 6 of these things, it may become very obvious a good way to break these things down. Like maybe all the calculated ones will be in their own thing, or maybe all the ones about aspect ratios will be in the thing, or maybe all the things that are properties, or who knows. But like it'll become a little easier once we have sort of a bunch of these to to do it. Now I did handle that in by naming it calculated ratio dictionary, so maybe this is where things will break down. Dictionaries will break up into different kinds of things, which will sort of inform anyone who's looking at this code, especially myself, of the structure of the application. So now we know we have a dictionary of calculated aspect ratios. It's pretty obvious and easy to sort of get behind. Anyways, happy coding, everybody. Have a wonderful day. Bye.